Hello, this is Peter Murphy, President and CEO of the Illinois Association of Park Districts. Today, we are presenting another video as part of our Legends video series. One of the missions of IAPD is to recognize outstanding park, forest preserve, and conservation district board members throughout the state of Illinois. I hope the knowledge and insights these great leaders provide will inspire you to continue to make a positive impact at your agency and in your community. Please enjoy.
Hello, I'm Wayne Utterback, Director of Communications and Digital Content for the Illinois Association of Park Districts, and I'm pleased today to be joined by Buffalo Grove Park District Commissioner Larry Reiner for our IAPD Legends video series. Larry, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk with us.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Now, I always like to start by just learning a little bit more about how long you've been at the Buffalo Grove Park District and any other details you might want to add.
I've been a commissioner for just about 33 years. I've lived in the community for 36 years, and I've really enjoyed being part of the Park District.
Now, how would you describe your overall experience with the Buffalo Grove Park District?
It's an incredible experience, actually, in so many different ways. Very fulfilling, inspiring, motivating. It's a park district that makes you feel really good about giving back to the community, and it's a two-way street all the time, which is just incredible.
Now, speaking of motivation, what were your motivations for becoming a commissioner? What led you to that role?
A lot of different things. I had been in the field of Parks and Recreation for some years, since 1969, and when I got my family was always involved in just volunteering in different kinds of things, my mom particularly. And so it was a natural when the director of the Park District asked me to consider it. It was a perfect fit. I had been on the special recreation side of it as a professional and really wanted to learn more about the Park District side of it. And it was a learning experience. It's been a great journey.
How important do you feel volunteerism is? How crucial is that to a community?
Oh, incredible. You can't wait for the other guy to do it. It's something that is just really important for everybody, no matter what your profession is. Park District needs people of varied backgrounds. They need people, not everybody the same. They need people who have different perspectives on life, on religion, on daily living. They just need to have a well-rounded board, and that's what makes a strong board, having different opinions and different ways of thinking about things. And you talk freely about it, and don't be afraid of sharing your thoughts.
Now, what makes the Buffalo Grove Park District special? What makes it unique and stand out?
I'll tell you the truth, Wayne. Everything about Buffalo Grove is special. I'm not kidding. It's a district who does everything well. It's a district who really believes in being excellent and strives to do whatever they do. If they can't do it really, really well, they don't do it at all. And I think they side on the side of safety, and they put the residents of our community first. They make good, strong decisions, financial decisions, practical decisions, safety decisions. Above everything else, they make ethical decisions, and they listen well to the community.
Now, what keeps you engaged and involved today?
Probably just the people we have on our board, and I've served with them for a long time. We just changed and have one new board member, but I've served with Adrian Johnson, the new president of IAPD, and soon to be new president of IAPD, and Scott Jacobson and Tracy Bragg. So they're my friends. They've become my friends. They've become my family in Buffalo Grove, and it's easy to get motivated. We have an incredible staff. Ryan Reisinger is the leadership, John Short in finance, Bill Hyder, just incredible people throughout the director, Erica of our Arts Center. Each person is just fantastic to work with. They're so bright and gifted and talented. As commissioner, it actually makes our jobs pretty easy, but it's great to be surrounded by people who just know what it's all about and giving back to the community.
Now, I want to change maybe the tone a little bit to talk about challenges. So I know there are many challenges the park districts face. What are some challenges right now you think park districts are facing in today's world, and what are ways to resolve some of those problems?
I think we have a lot of challenges, you're right. I mean, you could probably spend all the time talking about finances, and that is one, and I can expound on that a little bit. But we have challenges. We try to get involved early with our kids, first of all, getting them outside, getting them away from screen time, There's a place for screen time, there's a place for technology, and I credit all the kids who are very, very bright and love technology, but we have to relate to nature. We have to get opportunities for them to do it on their own, at their own speed, in their own time, in a safe way, to engage family opportunities, build a family connection. I think family is incredibly important to people, and sometimes we do a lot of individual things for kids and family members, adults too, and we in my mind, need to focus around family more. That's, I think, one of our challenges, to create programs for teens. Very difficult population to find things that are going to get teens involved in the community. That's a difficult thing. And then finances, I think probably we were set back significantly by the Tax Limitation Act of 1991. I think it embroiled park districts in what an issue they were trying to solve at the state level regarding taxes and property taxes, but park districts only are about 4% of your tax bill, and we got roped into that, and now we have limitations on what we can do as park district in ways that the local board really doesn't get to make some of the important decisions. Those decisions were made for us, and our hands are tied in a lot of ways to be able to give the community back what they need. Sometimes we just can't because the funds aren't there.
Now, I'm sure you mentioned you have a new commissioner that's joined. So what's some advice you'd give that new commissioner with all the experience that you've had? What do you think is something they need to know about when stepping into that role?
I think, and I've talked to him at length, I think I would give him advice. First of all, I wouldn't give very much advice unless I'm asked for it. but I think that I would advise him to listen a lot, to listen and observe, watch other people, listen to other park districts, watch other park districts, come to as many IAPD functions particularly, and just learn from all the people around. There's incredible resources that Peter has and Jason has that can be shared with us, and there's great books out there that have been written, sponsored by IAPD. I would suggest those to new commissioners, the workshops, getting on board, and the board training boot camps and such. Go to them. You know, no one's above that, and we can learn a lot. I would advise everyone to just try and focus on staying an inclusive park district. All people, all ages, all ethnicities, all cultures, trying to just be wide open to respect the people in the community, respect that we're all different.
Now, from your own personal experience, what's a good philosophy that a commissioner could adopt in order to be successful?
Interesting question. I think philosophically, I would just advise people to be good listeners. I said that already, but just being honest with the community, being direct, honest. Everything is based on integrity. And I think if you are that kind of commissioners, that people come to you, even when there are problems that you can't say an immediate yes to, they'll understand and know you're sincere and know that you're honestly trying to help resolve whatever situation they're going through, and that you're going to provide the service the best that you can.
Now, speaking of staff, I'm sure you've had the opportunity to work with many professionals in the field of parks and recreation. What are some key attributes that you've noticed over the years that are in those who are really at the top of their game?
Well, the people who are my mentors and things of that type, you know, I think their integrity is number one. I mean, Peter Drucker said it, the real job of the director is integrity. You have to have a respect of the board, you have to have the trust of the board. And even in recent books that have been out, The Speed of Trust, for example, just talks about if the board trusts you, you can get a lot of things done pretty quick. But as soon as you let that in any way break down that trust, things take a lot longer to do, because there's just a lot more research that has to be done on things if they don't know that you automatically do deep research and know what you're talking about. I don't think you can ever be anything less than ethical.
Now, what opportunities have you seen, or what opportunities are there that you might be able to leverage for your park district?
I think when working together with the state, some of the new state programs and the federal programs that are out there are a lot of opportunities out there. And we as the Buffalo Grove Park District, I think the staff have done a great job working together with people in the community and the state programs to matching grants, things of that type, those kind of opportunities. But we also have public and private partnerships. Our staff, Mike Tierson, does an incredible job for our park district and his staff getting different local grants and supporting sponsoring of different events and things of that nature. We don't sit back on our laurels at all. We're always trying new and different things, and there are lots of opportunities. But when I mentioned before about working with the village, that's a golden opportunity. And the other government bodies, the school districts, the libraries, utilizing the synergy that comes from working together, we can do a lot with a little.
Those partnerships are crucial and integral to the success of any park district.
They really are.
I mean, how crucial are they in your opinion?
I think they're essential. I think they really are. It's about sharing knowledge, sharing resources, sharing money. It's not just one thing. Universally, it's stronger because you have partners in it that come at a problem from different perspectives and have different resources to address that.
Now, you spoke about IAPD a minute ago, so I want to talk about that a little bit. What are the benefits of a commissioner getting involved in IAPD?
Well, I think the mentoring that we have from back and forth between you're given opportunities to contribute if you want to. You're given plenty of opportunities to learn if you want to. We have great leadership. We had good leadership, certainly excellent leadership in Ted Flickinger in my career, but we've also have outstanding leadership from Peter Murphy and Jason and Bobby Joe. I mean, the staff that we have are just incredible at IAPD. So if you have a question, you can get it answered pretty quickly. If they don't know the answer, they'll point you in the right direction and you can get the answer. But there's almost always a place where you can learn from someone else's past experience, and I think that's what they provide to all of us as a way of learning.
Now, what's your own personal experience with IAPD?
I've enjoyed the relationships with all of the people there. I've had opportunities because of IAPD to present at various different conferences, Department of Aging Conference, at the Conservation, down in Springfield, Conservation Day, and at the State Fair. Put on, through IAPD's help, put on exhibitions of wheelchair basketball tournaments at the State Fair in cooperation with IAPD. Just lots of different things, IAPD. At the federal level, different lobbying, not real lobbying, but educating, informing, advocating, and certainly IAPD has made that happen. Everything from supporting the Americans with Disabilities Act to more recently just protecting and preserving our lands and open space.
Now, speaking of your own personal experiences, how would you like to be remembered when somebody looks back on your time at the Buffalo Grove Park District?
I'd like to be remembered as being a nice person. Hopefully someone who listened to my cohorts and listened to my fellow board members more than I spoke to them. I hope I listened to them more and contributed to the success of our park district. Shared information, hopefully whenever offered and supported staff. I would want to be remembered as someone certainly who supported staff and supported the other commissioners and worked towards consensus building. I think I've done that fairly well, and if I'm remembered for that, that'd be great, and just being myself.
Now, what would you consider to be your greatest contribution to the field of parks and recreation?
Probably the greatest contribution is I was in the right place at the right time for the field of parks and recreation. When I started special recreation 50 years ago, when North Suburban Special Rec started their association, I was the first professional that was hired in that field, and was the second director of a special recreation association in the state of Illinois, and I've just been around to watch it grow and worked as the director of a special rec association for 34 years after that. So it's been a great journey as a professional, and the marriage, what I didn't realize when I became I'm an executive director of a smaller park district, Butterfield Park District, and I'm very proud of that, great park district also, and what it's taught me is that there's a whole other side to the field. I knew special recreation, parks and recreation agencies have so many other things to concern themselves with that it's a great marriage for me to wear both hats, and I feel blessed that I've been given the opportunity to do that.
Special recreation, it's incredible the work that people do in that field. How near and dear is that to your heart?
Well, the state of Illinois changed the entire country. And, the special recreation didn't exist in the United States before it was brought here by the professionals here, IAPD and IPRA, working together to get legislation changed here in Illinois, started a movement. And it changed from a clinically based therapeutic recreation concept to being a community-based therapeutic recreation concept, and now a full inclusion concept. And parks and recreation agencies have opened that up wide, and the IAPD has been incredibly supportive of that legislatively and philosophically. So the marriage of the two agencies has been really good. And it's really good to see that IAPD and IPRA are also not in competition with each other as they once were when I started my career. But now they work together hand in hand all the time. I really like that.
Now, what's the best advice you've ever received?
Two pieces. One personally from my dad, and he he always would talk about integrity and ethics, and that there's nothing more important than your name, and you keep your name clean and you do the right thing. There's no right way of doing the wrong thing. So you can lose everything else in your life, but if your name is good, you can get it all back. So it was a personal thing from my father, and that's kind of my own personal credo. But professionally, there was a gentleman who I started out with, Richard Johns, Dick Johnson, Glenview Park District. He taught me gave me my first piece of advice. Said that Parks and Recreation, good administrator, is going to be able to blend art and science. And if you do all one or all the other, you're going to come up short. So I tried to keep that in mind as being an administrator, that it's not all about the numbers. You have to do the right thing.
How important is that sort of learning aspect from other commissioners? I mean, you can learn all kinds of things from them, innovations and mistakes and lessons learned. How important is that?
Well, I think you hit on it. If people make mistakes, that's because they're human. That's okay. We should be very, very forgiving of mistakes, and we can even learn from our forgiveness. But the bottom line is you want to try and motivate people and create an environment. I don't know if you can motivate people, but you can create, you're like a weatherman, you create an environment where people can be motivated. And I think if you do that consistently, the people will find it within themselves to dig deeper, have a strong support team, that everybody gets challenged, and everybody does make mistakes. There's nothing wrong with that. All you have to do is count on everybody to be resourceful enough to get past the mistake. And by sharing with other commissioners, sharing with other staff people, you can find out, maybe I'm not alone here. Maybe I can figure this out with my friends and fellow professionals and find my way out of it. I had a fellow at Buffalo Grove Park District, past director Mike Rocco. He was the gentleman I mentioned that invited me on to Park District. The gentleman, his work ethic, how he did things, he set the stage for all of us to follow. And I can't say enough about him, and that was, I think, part of what set the pattern for me between Mike Rocco and Bob Kunkel, another director. All they did was stay the course of doing things well, doing things excellent.
Now, speaking of motivating people, you had mentioned that just a moment ago. What advice would you give a 20-year-old?
I think this is an incredible field. I think it's whatever you get back, you get back tenfold. It's just an amazing field, but don't hesitate to ask questions. A 20-year-old who's starting out, I would just tell them to keep learning. Go back to school. I've been fortunate being able to pick up a few different degrees along the way, but it's worth going back to school and going to continuing education programs whenever you can. I'd encourage a 20-year-old to continue to do that. Learn.
Now, what historical figures inspire your work?
A few different people. President Roosevelt, certainly in terms of that, but Senator Paul Simon, in terms of those kinds of folk, General Eisenhower, for a lot of different reasons, different people. I just think we have And people would probably laugh at me when they see the video, but I think even the Dalai Lama has inspired my work for a lot of different things. I think we need to be compassionate. I think people are frail, and we have to recognize that and help them and give them anything we can from our own resources to help them get stronger. And when we help each other, that's when we all succeed.
That's a fantastic answer. Now, what do you see as the benefits of park and recreation services? And more specifically, are there any in your park district that you'd like to share?
The benefits of parks? Well, it is, I think, first and foremost to me, it's about health and well-being, mental health particularly. I think parks and recreations give us opportunities to be creative, to be sensitive, to be caring. I think they give us opportunities to be outside in nature. I think they give us opportunities to enjoy our various different cultures and to enjoy things with neighbors and families. I think I've said that a little bit, but the agencies that constantly are innovating things to react to the community changing, they're going to be the most successful, because we're not stagnant communities. It's always changing. And so I think the benefits of it are that it creates an environment where people can be themselves and can enjoy family together.
Now, a more imaginative question for you. If funds were unlimited, what would you love to see done for the Buffalo Grove Park District?
For Buffalo Grove, it goes back to that Tax Limitation Act of 1991. I would like to see us being able to determine our own needs in our own community instead of having it dictated to us. Because our community, for example, sorely needs a community center. Although we have an incredible community arts center, a community center was just out of reach when that took place, and it remains just out of reach. But at some point, we'll probably go back and do it. If funds were unlimited, as you say, we would build a community center next to our fitness center and give the community what they've been asking for a long time. And
last but certainly not least, what is your vision for the future of parks and recreation in Illinois?
I think our legislature has recognized that we play a very, very important role in the health and well-being of our community. And I think that the more they do that, I think that they will embrace us in other ways, and even other sources of funding that we can fill certain niches and are expected to fill certain niches. It's funny, we take only that 4% of the tax bill, but we're expected to deliver at such an incredibly high level. I think there will be some recognition for that when we restructure our local school funding, and there may be some recognition. I would hope there'd be some recognition of the additional resources, if park districts had them, what we're capable of doing. We can deliver an awful lot.
All right, well, that's all the questions I had for you, Commissioner Reiner, but I appreciate you taking time out of your day to sit and talk with me, and keep doing the amazing work that you do.
Thanks very much.
This interview was part of the Illinois Association of Park Districts Legends video series. For more interviews, please visit us at our content-rich website at ilparks.org/legends. Also, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram for all the latest videos, resources, events, and more. Thank you so much for watching.